Shalom, shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off this lesson by giving all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Acha, Kodash. Double honors to my teachers, the elder apostles, and elder bishops of Great Millstone, teaching and ruling well. Peace, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect of the house of Israel. Lord willing, this lesson will be edifying. And we're just going to touch on the book of Judith. We're going to jump from chapter to chapter and just to push forth the one key lesson to be learned from the book of Judith is how we are to wait on the Lord. Okay, how we are to be patient in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. We are not to put the Lord in a time in a box, okay, to put a timeline on salvation. Our role as servants of the Lord is to push forth the truth, to serve the Lord, fear the Lord, and wait for Him. He doesn't work on our timing. We work on His timing. Okay, He will deliver us when the time is fulfilled. Okay, when the prophecies are met. Okay, you see, we cannot force the Lord's hand to obtain salvation. All right, so this is one thing that one main lesson that you can learn from the book of Judith, and we're gonna go into it. Okay, but before that, let me see. It says here in Zephaniah 3:8, therefore wait ye upon me, said the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. So again, the Lord is commanding us to wait. As servants of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai, we are to wait for Him. Okay? His determination, He wants to gather the nations. He's the one bringing forth that vibration of war. Okay, the animosity between nations. Okay, the Lord is working in the mind of the kings of these nations to go to war against each other. Okay, the Lord is the top manager of conflicts. Okay, He's the one orchestrating everything. Everything is is like on a chessboard, and the Lord is the chess master. Okay, He's orchestrating every move so that at the end, His determination is that all the nations are going to gather. Okay, are going to be gathered in the valley of Jehoshaphat or Yahweh Shaphat. Okay, the valley of the Lord's judgment. Okay, so that the Lord can push forth His fierce anger. Okay, so our role in that is just to wait for Him. Everything is already written in the scriptures. It's going to happen. Thus said the Lord. It is written. So all we have to do is wait for these things to come to pass. And it will come to pass in this generation. And how do we understand this? It's through the prophecy, through the spirit of prophecy. Because all these things that the Lord has prophesied thousands of years ago are happening before our face as we speak. Okay, you look at the news, wars, rumors of wars, pestilence, evils. Okay, the new world the new world order, the pushing forth of the new technology as being the new technocracy. Okay, a system based off technology, where Isa Edom will be able to control every individual that bows down to this wicked system, that partakes in this system by submitting and taking a microchip. And there's already people in the world that are already submitted. Okay, it's not something that we have to wait for. It's just the infrastructure has to be implemented for the whole world. Okay, but places in the world like Sweden. Okay, Sweden is the main example of a society that completely conformed or majorly conformed to the mark of the beast. Okay, the majority of Sweden is a society that is cashless. Okay, most people over there they have taken the microchip, and it became normalized. Okay, you see, so all these things, but that's for another lesson. Okay, I don't want the spirit to push it too far away from the topic of the lesson. But again, all these things are going to happen. Why? Because the Lord has spoken it. Okay, this is the direction. Okay, that the world is going to. Okay, which will eventually lead to the famine of the word, Jacob's trouble, okay, and World War III. And again, and at the end of all this, the return of Yahweh Shai. Okay, these are the events that would solidify the fact that we are in the last days of the last days, the last hours, the last minutes of the last days. Okay, you see. So going back to Judith, Judith 4, and I'll start at 1 to get the understanding. And it reads here, now the children of Israel that dwelt in Judea heard all that Holofernes, the chief captain of Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Assyrians, had done to the nations, and after what manner he had spoiled all their temples and brought them to naught. Therefore they were exceedingly afraid of him, and were troubled for Jerusalem and for the temple of the Lord their power. For they were newly returned from the captivity, and all the people of Judea were lately gathered together, and the vessels and the altar and the house were sanctified after the profanation. Okay, so the profanation, surely that talks about when Nebuchadnezzar came and destroyed the temple the first time. Okay, you see, or Nebuchadnezzar came and took away the Judites, the Judites, the southern kingdom into captivity. Okay, so now being returned, they sanctified they sanctified the house of the Lord, the temple. Okay, so they were afraid. Okay, they were afraid of Holofernes. Okay, because his intention was to put the children of the Lord into captivity again. Okay, so but let's just for history's sake, just for conscience sake, let's just look up who Holofernes is. Okay, and what time was he alive? Let me see. Let's go ask Chat GPT. Let me see. Who was bear with me. Bro. So it says here, Holofernes is a prominent figure in the Deuterocanonical, in the Deuterocanonical books. Damn. Oh man. Okay, shit. See, this Satan, man. See, I'm trying to do this lesson, but hey, it has to come out, man. So, and I know this lesson has to be important for Satan to try to disrupt me time and time again, man. Damn. But anyways, it says here, Holofernes is a prominent figure in the Deuterocanonical book of Judith. According to the book, he was the chief general of the army of Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Assyrians. So as I was saying, he was dispatched by Nebuchadnezzar to take vengeance on Israel, and was a powerful and ruthless military leader. Okay, so it says here, I'm trying to figure out the time. When was he alive? Well, he was alive around the time of Nebuchadnezzar. What year was he alive? It's a fictional. Wow, you see these demons? It comes from the scriptures. It says that it came from the book of Judith, but they're saying it's a fictional character. That's how you know. You have to know that AI sometimes it can give you the right information, but you have to eat the meat and spit out the bones. It's basically saying that Holofernes is a fictional character. He's a sci-fi. You know, he's not real. Okay. But it says here, the book of Judith in the 2nd or 1st century BC, long after the historical Nebuchadnezzar. Okay, so around 2nd or the 1st century BC. Okay, before the birth of Yahushai. Okay, so it says here. So going back to Judith 4, so we get the the hope, the picture, okay, that they were fearing the torment of Holofernes that was come to bring forth vengeance upon the children of Israel. Okay, so we jump to verse 8. And the children of Israel did as Joachim the high priest had commanded them, with the ancients of all the people of Israel which dwelt at Jerusalem. Then every man of Israel cried to the Most High with great fervency, and with great vehemency did they humble their souls, both they and their wives and their children and their cattle, and every stranger and hireling, and their servants bought with money, put sackcloth upon their loins. Thus every man and woman and little children and inhabitants of Jerusalem fell before the temple and cast ashes upon their heads, and spread their sackcloth before the face of the Lord. Also they put sackcloth upon about the altar, and cried to the power of Israel and cried to the power of Israel all with one consent earnestly, that he would not give their children for a prey, and their wives for a spoil, and the city of their inheritance to destruction, and the sanctuary to profanation and reproach, and for the nations to rejoice at. So it says here, verse 13, this is the important part. So the Most High heard their prayers, and looked upon their affliction, for the people fasted many days in all Judea and Jerusalem before the sanctuary of the Almighty. So again, just to push forth, the Lord already heard their prayers at that moment. Before they heard of Holosepharon, okay, which was heading to Jerusalem to destroy it, okay, to put the children to basically to make it desolate, okay. So the people are already there. They're praying, they're fasting, they're turning to the Lord for mercy, okay, and the Lord heard, okay. And it says here, verse 14, and Joachim the high priest and all the priests that stood before the Lord, and they which ministered unto the Lord, had their loins girded with sackcloth, and offered daily burnt offering with the vows and free gifts of the people, and ashes on their mire, and cried unto the Lord with all their power, that he would look upon all the house of Israel graciously. Okay, so you see the if you could picture the emotion, if you could picture that scene, all Israel in a mournful state, in a state of begging for mercy, the whole people in one accord, turning their face towards, bowing their face towards Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, bowing their face to the ground, Salakia, praying for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to come and deliver them, okay, in one accord and one consent, okay. So if you jump, let me see if I have something here. I'm gonna jump. So basically here it speaks of Ashur, the captain of all the sons of Ammon, who basically counsels Holofernes to basically, I'm gonna skip it, so just to get the understanding. So this is Anchor, the captain of all the sons of Ammon, speaking and giving counsel to Holofernes, and he gives a accurate description of the history of the Israelites from Abraham even unto the time of after Solomon. Okay, so he gives a little history, a quick history of the people of Israel. Okay, so but there's an important point, as it says here, verse 17, and whilst they sinned not before their power, they prospered, because the power that hated iniquity was with them. Okay, so our power is a power that hates iniquity. Again, he's the only living power. Okay, and he hates iniquity. Sin detaches us. Okay, separates us from Yahweh. Well, it doesn't separate us from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, but it doesn't bring us the blessings. Okay, when we sin, it attracts the curses. It promotes death. Okay, but when we do good in the sight of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, when we serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, it promotes life. Okay, it promotes increase. Okay, but when they departed from the way which he appointed them, They were destroyed in many battles, very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs. And the temple of their God was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. Okay, so you see that when we do righteousness, when we obey the voice of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, we prosper. Okay, but when we disobey and turn our backs to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, we're cast down, we're brought into captivity, and evils pursue us. Okay, but now they are returned to their power. So Anchior is telling Holofernes, okay, to back off. Basically, it's like, but now they're turned to their power. So basically, who can, as it says in Romans, who can be, if the Lord be for us, who can be against us? Okay, so he's basically telling them, yo, watch out, because if the Lord is with them, you won't be able to defeat them. Okay, but now they are returned to their power and are come up from the place where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. Now therefore, my Lord and governor, if there be any error against these people, as it says, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their ruin. Sin is the kryptonite of the Israelites. Okay, just as kryptonite is the weakness, is the ultimate weakness of Kal-El, or Superman. Okay, Kal-Allah, all power. Okay, just as sin is the kryptonite of the Israelites, just as kryptonite is the weakness to Superman, Kal-El. Okay, so it says here, so now therefore, my Lord and governor, if there be any error with against these people, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. Okay, the only way that these nations can overcome us is if we turn our back on the Lord and disobey. The only reason that we're in captivity now is because of our transgressions, not because the nations were stronger than us, not because the nations were more intelligent than us, not because that the Lord was with the other nations. No, it's because we transgressed the commandments. We turned our backs on the Lord. It's our fault that we're in the situation that we're in today. Okay, but all these things have to happen according to prophecy. Okay, but again, we are at fault. We have to understand that we have sinned against the Lord, so we will bear the indignation of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai until he will please to come and deliver us. Again, the importance of waiting for the Lord. Okay, but if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their power defend them, and lest their Lord defend them, and their power be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world. So again, so without it, so if we don't sin, the Lord is for us. The Lord is going to protect us, and he's going to be an enemy to our enemy. Okay, you see, and the Lord is going to fight our fights. The Lord is going to fight our battles, man, and we will become victorious. And ultimately, as we're fighting a spiritual battle in this time, the Yahweh Shai already obtained victory. Now what we have to do is obtain the truth, hear the truth, believe in the truth, and remain in the truth until Yahweh returns. Keep our integrity until the end. Okay? Because the victory has already been obtained. It just has to be given out at this point. Okay? Victory is already at the finish line. We just have to cross that finish line. Okay? On this time. Okay? So again, when we sin, the Lord is not with us. When we obey, the Lord is with us and against our enemies. Okay, so that was just basically that conversation between Anchior and Holofernes, what he was telling them, what he was counseling him to. If we sin, if the children of Israel sin, go and attack. They'll be a prey for you. But if they don't sin and the Lord is with them, leave them alone. Okay, so jump to chapter, I believe. You see, no, chapter 8, chapter 7, and it says here, I'm gonna skip this. It says here, just to bring again the purpose, it says here in Judith 7 and 8, then came unto him all the chief of the children of Esau, and all the governors of the people of Moab, and the captain of the sea coast, and said, let our Lord now hear a word, that there be not an overthrow in thine army. For this people of the children of Israel do not trust in their spears, but in the height of the mountains, wherein they dwell, because it is not easy to come up to the top of the mountains. Now therefore, my Lord, fight not against them in a battle array, and there shall not so much as one man of thy people perish. Remain in thy camp, and keep all the men of thine army, and let thy servants go into their hands to the fountain of water which issued forth at the foot of the mountain. For all the inhabitants of Bethulia have their water thence, so shall thirst kill them, and they shall give up their city, and we and our people shall go up to the tops of the mountains that are near, and will camp about them, to watch that none go out of that city, so they and their wives and their children shall be consumed with fire, and before the sword come against them, they shall be overthrown in the city where they dwell. Okay, so thus shalt thou render them an evil reward, because they rebelled and met not thy people peaceably. And these words pleased Holofernes and his servants, and he appointed to do as they had spoken. So again, who was that? The children of Esau, okay, the top enemy, and the children of Moab. Okay, so just to push forth again the understanding that these nations, they're not for you. All these nations, okay, all these nations have been partakers and have been conglomerate and associates in the downfall and the subjection of the children of Israel. Okay, that's just to prove that point, man. These nations are not for you. They're for themselves. They're for Esau Edom. And again, they're against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So of course, they're going to be against the children of the Lord. Okay, these nations, they're not for us. They're our enemies. And again, they understand that fact more than the wicked of our people. Okay, when you come into the truth, your eyes are enlightened, you understand that these nations are not for your turn. Okay, you see, and that conversation proves that the children of Esau and the children of Moab came to the Assyrians came to Holofernes to give them a counsel and war tactics to destroy the children of Israel. All right, you see, so you keep going. It says here, I'll jump to verse, let me see, I believe, let me see. I do not want to read the whole thing. I just want to skip to the point. So basically, they went through with their plan. They stopped the water, and the people were lamenting because they were dying of thirst. Well, they were thirst. Okay. So it says here. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Let me see. It says here, I'll start at verse 24. Here we go. Judah 7 and 24. The Most High be judged. The Most High be judged between us and you, for ye have done us great injury, in that ye have not required peace from the children of Assur. For now we have no helper, but the Most High has sold us into their hands, and that we should be thrown down before them with thirst and great destruction. Okay, so at first the children of Israel were praying for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to come and deliver them, but now they're seeing the situation. The people are being dying of thirst, as it says what they're thrown down before them in thirst and great destruction. Okay, so the people are thirsting. There's famine, there's drought. Okay, the people are dying of hunger and thirst. Okay, and now they're complaining to, I believe, the high priest. Okay, Joachim. Okay, they're complaining to Joachim pertaining to that situation, and they're saying that the Most High has given them up to the nations, to the heathen. Okay, for we will be his. It says here, for it is better for us to be made a spoil unto them than to die for thirst. That was their mentality. It got to the point where, hey, it's better for us to be servants unto the Assyrians than to die of thirst. Okay, for we will be his servant, that our souls may live and not see the death of our infants before our eyes, nor our wives, nor our children to die. We take to witness against you the heaven and the earth, and our power and Lord of our fathers, which punisheth us according to our sins, and this sins and the sins of our fathers, that he do not according as we have said this day. Then there was a great weeping with one consent in the midst of the assembly, and they cried unto the Lord power with a loud voice. Then said Ozias to them, Brethren, be of good cheer, let us yet endure 5 days. Okay, so now he's putting the Lord on the timeline. He said 5 days. Okay, in the which space the Lord our power may turn his mercy towards us. For if he will not forsake us utterly, and if these days pass and there come no help unto us, I will do according to your word. Okay, so it says here, and he dispersed the people, everyone to their own charge, and there went into the walls of the tower and their city, and sent the women and the children unto their houses, and they were very low brought in, the city. Okay, and so the mistake that he did was to put the Lord on a timeline. Okay, and bringing it back to the times that we're going into, as it says in Revelation 2:10, it says that that Satan is going to cast some of us into prison. Fear none of those things that we shall suffer, for the Lord is trying us. Okay, but those 10 days, okay, if you take this scripture literally, okay, if you're not moving according to the spirit, and you take that scripture literally, okay, and you're in prison, the 10th day you're not being delivered, the 11th day, are you gonna turn around and eat pork? Are you gonna eat the abominations that they feed you with? Are you gonna turn around and take the mark of the beast? Are you gonna get microchipped, so that you can be saved because the Lord didn't show up on the 11th day? No, man, you have to endure unto the end. It says that the elect live not their lives even unto death. Okay, so you cannot put the Lord on a timeline, man. The Lord will come when he will desire it, when the appointed time has arrived. The Lord measured the times in due season. He will act. Okay. And again, I just want to bring it back to remembrance that in Judith 4 and I believe 13, if I go 4 and 13, I said what? So the Most High heard their prayers. The Lord already heard their prayers. And one thing that the people seem to forget is that one day for the Lord is as 1,000 years for us. So it's not because you know. So what's 5 days for the Lord? It's 5 millisecond, man. 5 milliseconds. So you're gonna turn the trust. You're gonna forsake the trust of the Lord because of 5 milliseconds, because of 5 spiritual milliseconds. Come on, man. Okay, you have to think spiritually. The carnal mind is enmity against the Lord. So if you start putting the Lord on your timeline, okay, you're already going off, man. Okay, from Judith 4 and 13, the Lord already set up events. Okay, the Lord already knew how things were gonna happen, so that the children of Israel would be saved. In verse 4 and 13, they were already saved, but the events had to play out because they had to be tried, okay, to see how they would maneuver. Okay, so already there, the people they bugged out. Okay, the doubt swept in, so like a doubt crept in, okay, and was messing with their faith. Okay, doubt crept in and was messing with their faith. Okay. But it says what? Continuing on, Judith chapter 8 and verse 1. Now at that time Judith heard thereof, which was the daughter of Merari, the son of Ox, the son of Joseph, the son of Ozel, the son of Elisha, the son of Anaiah, the son of Gideon, the son of Raphaim, the son of Akito, the son of Elihu, the son of Eliba, the son of Nathaniel, the son of Samael, the son of Saladasad, Salasadal, and the son of Israel. Okay, and Manasseh was her husband of her tribe and kindred, who died in the barley harvest. Okay, and if you, in a different chapter, it mentions how Judith is a Simeonite. Okay, so if you jump verse 7. So she heard the words that who was it? The words of Salaki. Let me just get the name of this guy. Uzziah, the words of Uzziah. And it says here, verse 7, Judith 8 and 7, she was also of a goodly countenance and very beautiful to behold, and her husband Manasseh had left her gold and silver and men servants and maid servants and cattle and lands, and she remained upon them. And there was none that gave her an ill word, as she feared the Most High greatly. So not only was she beautiful to look upon, a beautiful maid, a beautiful woman, Salaki, a beautiful woman, but also what added to her beauty was the fact that she feared the Lord. Okay, her piousness towards Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Okay, and it says here, verse 9, when she heard the evil words of the people against the governor, that they fainted for the lack of water. Okay, Salakia. Now when she heard the evil words of the people against the governor, that they fainted for lack of water, for Judith had heard all the words that Uzziah had spoken unto them, and that she had sworn to deliver, and that he had sworn to deliver the city unto the Assyrians after 5 days. Okay, so those were evil words. Okay, those were wickedness. That conversation was wickedness, man. Okay, and you can, hey, and again, she was in a spiritual mindset. She understood, like, yo, this is evil, man. That's not right. Okay. Then she sent her waiting woman that had the government of all things that she had, to call Uzziah and Chabris and Charmis, the ancients of the city. And they came unto her, and she said unto them, hear me now, O ye governors of the inhabitants of Bethuela, for your words that ye have spoken before the people this day are not right, touching this oath which ye made and pronounced between the Most High and you, and have promised to deliver the city to our enemies, unless within these days the Lord turn to help you. And now when ye are to have tempted the Most High this day, and stand against the Most High, and stand in the stead, and stand instead of the Most High among the children of men. I'll say that again. Verse 12, and now who are ye that have tempted the Most High this day, and stand instead of the Most High among the children of men? Okay, by you saying that, hey, if the Lord doesn't save us in 5 days, we'll surrender the city. That's by you. That's how it's like you putting yourself in a position of authority above Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Okay, in the sense that, hey, if he doesn't save us in 5 days, he can deliver us. That's the mindset that you're pushing. Okay, so she's basically rebuking the elders and the leaders at that time, man. Okay, because again, the Spirit of the Lord was upon her. Okay, so the Lord can work in women to push forward righteousness. Okay, in that instance, it shows you that, man. Okay, the Lord can put a spirit in individuals, even in the heathen. The Lord can use the heathen to push forth the message, to rebuke you, to bring you back to the right way, man. Okay, and if you're a spiritual individual, you'll take heed to that message. Okay, so again, it says here, verse 13, now try the Lord Almighty, but ye shall never know anything, for ye cannot find the depth of the heart of man, neither can ye perceive the things that he thinketh. So you can't even understand what's in the mind of a man. How can you understand the things that are in the mind of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua? Okay, as it says, my ways are higher than your ways, just as the heavens are higher than the earth. Okay, my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. Okay, the Lord sees the end before the beginning. And again, verse 4, chapter 13, verse 4, chapter 4, verse 13, the Lord already heard their prayers. The Lord was already setting up the deliverance for Israel. Okay, things just had to be played out. Okay, but because these people were lacking in faith, okay, their faith was being tested, and they were starting to weaken. Okay, they're starting to lose hope. But no, man, even in adversity, we have to trust in the Lord. Okay, yeah, as Job said, even if thou striketh me, I will still retain mine integrity in you. Okay, roughly paraphrasing, I will still trust in you. Okay, so it says here, for ye cannot find the depth of the heart of man, neither can ye perceive the things that he thinketh. Then how can ye search out the Most High, that he had made all things, that he had made all these things, and know his mind, or comprehend his purpose? Nay, my brethren, provoke not the Lord, or power to anger, because that's what you're doing. By putting the Lord on a timeline, you're putting him to anger. He might send you to destruction even faster. Okay? By putting the Lord on a timeline, you're setting yourself up for destruction. Okay? For if he will not help us within these 5 days, he had power to defend us when he will. If the Lord doesn't save us in 5 days, he can save us in 6. He can save us in 7. He can save us in 1 day. He can save us tomorrow. He can save us. Come on, man. Don't put the Lord on a timeline, man. He will save us when he feels like it, because he's the director of this movie we call life. Okay? But one thing's for sure is that the prophecies will come to pass. That's one thing that we can trust upon, man. And at the end, he says, "What? It is his will. It is his pleasure to give us the kingdom. The saints of the Lord will take the kingdom." Okay. One that will in due time, the Lord will set up one that is profitable. Okay. We understand these things. So having this knowledge, having faith in these words, we are to trust in the Lord and not falter when adversity hits. Okay? When we are brought to a low estate, we are to trust in Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushai. Okay? For if he will not help us within these 5 days, he had power to defend us when he will, even every day, or to destroy us before our enemies. So life and death is in the hands of the Lord. Good and evil, light and darkness. He's the author of life. Okay? He giveth and taketh away. He bringeth evil, he wounds and he heals. Okay? So the Lord is in control of everything. He's the ultimate orchestrator. Okay? Do not bind the counsel of the Lord our power, for the Most High is not a man that he may be threatened. If that's something you tell your child. If you don't clean your room, you're gonna get a beating. If you don't clean your room, by the time I come back, you're gonna get licks. Okay? If I come back home from work and I see dishes, someone's gonna get hurting real bad. Okay? That's something that's threats that you send to your child, man. That's not something that you can say to the Most High. If you don't save us in 5 days, we'll do our own thing. Nah, man. Trust in the Lord. Remain steadfast for the name of Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushai, for he will deliver. Okay? Not when you want, but when he finds it fit. Okay? Do not bind the counsel of the Lord our power, for our power is not a man that he may be threatened, neither is he the son of man that he should be wavering. Okay, so there's no wavering. Again, the Lord already heard the prayers of Israel in chapter 4. Now we're in chapter 8. Things just have to play out. Therefore, let us wait. See, this is the wise counsel. Therefore, let us wait for salvation of him and call upon him to help us, for he will hear our voice if it please him. So again, it's according to him. If he delivers, if he destroys, that's his decision. We belong to him. Every soul belongs to the Lord, and he will do with us according to his pleasure. So if he wants to save us, he'll save us. If he wants to keep us in the fire, he'll keep us in the fire. Okay? All we can do is pray and beg for the Lord to have mercy on us. If he does, that's a great thing. Call halaylam Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushai. If he doesn't, call halaylam Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushai. Because at the end of the day, we still have to return to him. Okay? In life and death, we still have to walk in the fear of the Lord. Okay? I read that one again, verse 17. Therefore, let us wait for the salvation. Therefore, let us wait for salvation of him, because salvation comes from him and from none else. And call upon him to help us, for he will hear our voice if it please him. Okay? So again, that's the counsel that she said unto them. Okay? Don't put the Lord on the timeline. What you said to the people, what your counsel was wicked. Rather, let us wait for the Lord. If he saves us, good. If he doesn't, good. We're in the hands of Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushai. Okay? So now you jump to verse 13. And it says here, now When the evening was come, his servants made haste to depart, and Bagaus shut his tent without, and dismissed the waiters from the presence of his lord, and they went to their beds, for they were all weary, because the feast had been long. Okay, and Judith was left alone in the tent, and Holofernes lying alone upon his bed, for he was filled with wine. So again, the same guy that came to destroy the people of Israel is laying in bed next, and Judith is with him. Okay, they're laying in bed, and this guy is pissy drunk, man. This guy is pissy drunk, man. Okay, you see. Now it says here, now Judith had commanded her maids to stand without the bedchamber and to wait for her, coming forth as she did daily. For she said, we shall go forth to her prayer. And she spake to Bogaias according to the same purpose. For all went forth, and none was left in the bedchamber, neither little nor great. Then Judith, standing by his bed, said in her heart, O Lord, power of all power, look at this present upon the works of mine hand, for the exaltation of Jerusalem. So now even at that point, she's calling upon the Lord. For now is the time to help thine inheritance, and to execute thine enterprise, to the destruction of the enemies which are risen against us. Then she came to the pillar of the bed, which was at the Holofernes' head, and took down his fusion from thence, and approached to his bed, and took hold of the hair of his head, and said, strengthen me, O Lord, power of Israel, this day. And she smote twice upon his neck with all of her might, and she took away his head from him. Okay, so the same guy that was speaking boastfully how he was going to destroy the children of Israel now had his head chopped off by a woman. Okay, you see, the Lord used the beauty and wisdom of Judith to infiltrate the camp of the enemies and to deliver the children of Israel. Okay, so now Judith is holding the head of the chief captain of the enemies of the children of Israel. All right, so again, let me see. Verse 12. Now when the men of her city heard her voice, they made haste to go down to the gates of the city, and they called the elder of the city, and they ran all together, small and great, for it was strange unto them that she was come. So they opened the gate and received them and made fire, and then they ran all together, both small and great, for it was strange unto them that she was come. So they opened the gate and received them, and made a fire for a light, and stood round about them. Then she said to them with a loud voice, praise the Most High, praise the Most High. I say, for he had not taken away his mercy from the house of Israel, but had destroyed our enemies by mine hand this night. Okay, so again, she's giving the glory to the Most High, not herself. She didn't come boastfully. Hey, I killed the guy. No, she said the Lord did it by my hand. The Lord used me to do it. Okay, but all praise to the Lord. So she took the head out of the bag and shewed it, and said unto them, behold, the head of Holofernes, the chief captain of the army of Assur, and behold, the capony wherein he did lie in his drunkenness, and the Lord has smitten him by the hand of a woman. As the Lord liveth, who had kept me in the way that I went, my countenance had deceived him to his destruction, and yet had he not committed sin with me to defile and shame me. So you see, so Holofernes didn't even lie with her, man. Okay, he got so drunk he thought he was gonna hit that. He thought he was gonna hit Judith, man. He thought he was gonna get some Israelite box, but no, man. The Lord, he ended up getting his head chopped off, man. You see, she came out with his head, man. You see, so that's a double shame. Okay. Then all the people were wonderfully astonished, and bowed themselves and worshipped the Most High, and said with one accord, blessed be thou, our power, which had this day brought to naught the enemy of thy people. Okay. Then then said Ozias unto her, O daughter, blessed art thou of all the Most High. Blessed art thou of the Most High above all the women upon the earth, and blessed be the Lord our power, which had created the heavens and the earth, which had directed thee to the cutting off of the head of the chief of our enemies. So again, the Lord is getting all the praise. Okay. We are just vessels for the Lord to orchestrate his will. Okay. We have to understand that. All praises goes to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay. And we pray that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai uses us for vessels of righteousness, that we can do his will on the right hand rather than on the left hand. Okay. It says here, for this thy confidence shall not depart from the heart of men, which remember the power of the Most High forever. And the Most High turn these things to thee for a perpetual praise, to visit thee in good things, because thou hast not spared thy life for the affliction of our nation, but hast revenged our ruin, walking a straight way before our power. And all the people said, so be it, so be it. Amen, amen. Okay. So Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. Again, pushing for the importance of not putting Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua on a timeline, especially in the times that we're coming into. If the Lord delivers us, let me bring it back to that precept, that important precept, which said, let me see, verse 17, Judith 8 and 17. Therefore let us wait for the salvation of him. So like it, therefore let us wait for salvation of him, and call upon him to help us, and he will hear our voice if it please him. So again, our life is in the hands of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and if it please him, he will save us in his appointed time. Okay. And bringing it back to to chapter 4 and 13, to just again, yes, we prayed and the Lord hears our voice. Okay, but it's not because he doesn't accomplish our desires right away that he did not fulfill our request. Okay, it's not because the Lord didn't. It's not because we're still in captivity that the Lord did not fulfill our request. If we pray for the downfall of Esau Edom and the downfall of this wicked kingdom, the Lord is making things happen. Okay, and we are to keep praying for prophecies to accomplish, for the times to fasten. Okay, for the times to move speedily. Okay. And it's not because we're not seeing it happen right away that things are not moving. Okay. So trust in the Lord that his will be accomplished, and that Israel will be delivered. Okay. And that the righteous will reign evermore. Okay. So that being said, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. Until next lesson, shalom, shalom, shalom.